Hey folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. This is Doug, and this is News and Views by Doug. Thank you and welcome to the podcast. So today we'll be talking about several different things, but for those folks that are new to this is basically my observations and opinions on world events, politics, and basically anything else I want to talk about. And today I have multiple subjects. But finally, some good news. Back during the COVID-19 days, the U.S. military was kicking out service members who didn't want to get the shots. And they disobeyed orders and they were discharged. Now they're bringing them back. If these people want to go back into the military, they're giving them their rank, their back pay, and giving them the years that they were out towards retirement. So during COVID-19, it was affecting everybody. We had here in San Diego, the mayor told police officers and firefighters that if they didn't get the COVID shots, they would lose their jobs. And I actually interviewed the mayor of San Diego, Todd Gloria, and I was kind of blunt with him. But I basically said, you believe in pro-choice, where women can kill their babies if they don't want them. And I said, but yet you're telling police officers and firefighters that if they don't get a shot into their body, then they lose their jobs. They lose their careers. And a lot of the San Diego police officers I knew left the San Diego PD and they went other places where they weren't required to get the shots. And I couldn't, when I interviewed the mayor, I basically said, so it's okay for women to make a choice about their bodies and babies, but it's not men and women's choice on when to get the shot. Now, I reluctantly got the first shot because I was dating a woman who was a phlebotomist and she just kept writing me about it, but I never got the booster shot. Now, I had several friends that got the booster shot for one reason or another. 5 of them, younger and in better health shape than me, all had strokes. 5 of them. I don't have that many people I talk to. They all had their strokes within 6 months to a year of getting the booster shot. Most of them have recovered, but still, at their age, it never should have happened. And again, they were in better health conditions than I was. So I want to thank the U.S. military. These people did disobey orders, which isn't good because, I had to get shots when I went overseas. I had to get malaria shots and this and that and hepatitis shots. And we didn't have a choice. But when it came to this COVID-19 shot, there were just so many questions. So I thank the military for letting these people come back and serve their country. Now, on a note that we talked about a couple of times, the California politicians, the Democrats, the lefts, when they got caught by Nick Sherry, a freelance photojournalist, on the fraud that was happening in California, they attacked him. They made all kinds of accusations about him. They tried to make jokes about him. And then they suddenly discovered the fraud all on their own and started cracking down. They never gave him credit. The federal government came in and started shutting down all these hospices and arresting people for fraud. But the California politicians have decided to go one step further. And we talked about this the last couple of days. They actually came out with an assembly bill where they were going to make freelance photojournalists illegal to cover fraudulent companies. And if these companies requested that the videos be taken down on social media, and if the photographer or photojournalist said no, that journalist could be fined and possibly put in jail. State Assemblyman Carl DeMaio, he's a Republican. It's on video in the state capitol that he told the State Assembly, send this bill back to the Public Safety Committee because they were lied to. They weren't given the whole truth, and send it back to them and make revisions or get rid of it completely. State Democrats rose up in anger. You can't call us liars. You need to change your language. So Carl, being a smart man that he is, he changed the language and again requested that the bill go back. It didn't. And the State Assembly passed this Nick Sherry law, or they've passed it on now to the state Senate. These people are so corrupt, and they got caught with their pants down. And what are we going to do, California? They're also trying to pass a law now. Excuse me, let me move this. They're also trying to pass a law now that they can raise taxes on us anytime they want, and we don't have a right to vote on it. They're slowly but surely taking away all of our freedoms here in California. And it's not the Republican side, even though I'm, not happy with Republicans or Democrats. It's the far left Democrats that are destroying California. Give me your opinion on this. Now, there's some other interesting information. The Iranian regime, the mullahs, the ayatollahs, whatever you want to call them, they've said that they've opened up the Straits of Hormuz and that everybody's free to go and they won't be attacked as long as there's a ceasefire. Now, the U.S. Navy blockaded the strait and they're stopping any tanker leaving Iran with oil, and it's mostly Chinese. But, I remember when President Trump first said when it came to any kind of negotiation, he wanted unconditional surrender. Yes, we attacked them to get rid of their nuclear capabilities, which is a really, really good thing. But here's the thing. This regime has killed thousands and thousands of Iranians, Persians, people who don't want to live under this Muslim control. And if we start negotiating with this regime, these people will never be free. They need to rise up, which many of them are now doing, and attacking the IRGC, which is the military for Iran. They need to rise up against these politicians, these mullahs, these ayatollahs, and they need to take back their own country. And from everything I read, the Iranian army is not a part of this IRGC, and they're for the people. They need to rise up and attack. They need to take back their country. Otherwise, except for the nuclear weapons, this was all for naught. President Trump needs to go back to his unconditional surrender. We need to change the regime, the government. We need to bring democracy to Iran and its people. So, that's my opinion. What's yours? Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. Folks, you take care of yourselves.